Welcome back, guys, to playoff preview number 2 of the day. So now we are finishing off the Central Division side of the playoff board with Minnesota and St. Louis. Minnesota number 2 in the Central, St. Louis number 3 in the Central. Minnesota went 53-22-7 for 113 points, best season Minnesota's ever had, without question. St. Louis goes 49-22-11 with 109. Pretty good season as well. Then again, 13 teams had over 100 points, and 16 had at least 97, so it was a pretty good season for a lot of teams. Minnesota, 2nd in Central, 2nd in West, 5th in the league. St. Louis, 3rd in Central, 4th in the West, 9th in the league. Goals for, Minnesota's 5th with 310. Goals against is 19th, so not great with 253. The goal differential, plus 57. Goals for St. Louis is 4th with 311, so one more than Minnesota. Goals against, 11th with 242. Goal differential, plus 69. And these teams met 3 times this year. In Minnesota, the first meeting was in Minnesota. It was the Winter Classic on January 1st, 2022. St. Louis wins 6-4. Then in St. Louis on April 8th and April 16th, 2022, St. Louis on April 8th wins 4-3 in OT, and then on April 16th, St. Louis wins 6-5 in overtime. So St. Louis sweeps the season series, but 2 of the games go to overtime, so the games are pretty close. Factors contributing to the series have to be goaltending and motivation for Minnesota. Minnesota's huge cap penalties with the buyouts of Zach Parise and Ryan Suter, they are going to be taking hold next season, so they're going to lose a lot of their cap space. And it's going to get worse over the years. But goaltending, they acquire Marc-Andre Fleury from Chicago at the deadline. Callum Talbot was in the All-Star game. They've been playing excellent. They've been riding hot going into the playoffs, and I think this team has an excellent chance to make some noise. For St. Louis, factors have to be defense, experience, and depth. A lot of this team was part of that 2019 Stanley Cup run that they had. When winning the Cup, you have David Perron, Colton Parayko, Braden Shen, Jordan Bennington, of course, he was the hero of that. Ville Husso has stepped in quite excellently into his shoes here. Bennington's also bounced back, so that's also good for them, but not as good as Talbot and Fleury. That's why I give goaltending to Minnesota. And St. Louis also has great depth, as I've seen them score. They could score in many different lines, can hurt you. Their young guys can score, their big guys, their defensemen. Everyone can get into the play, and they just barrage you. Minnesota, however, has some pretty dynamic players. Kaprizov, Zuccarello, and Fiala are unbeatable when they are in control. You also have pieces like Foligno. You have defensemen such as Spurgeon, Dumba, that can hurt you on the back end, as well as obviously I've mentioned their goaltending, Fleury and Talbot. If they can switch off between those two, they can become a very dangerous setup and get some rest for each goaltender going if they switch off every game. Questions going into the series? Foligno and Zuccarello. Foligno was hurt, who's kneed by McDermott of Colorado in the final game. It was pretty dangerous. Colorado wanted to hurt Minnesota. O'Connor got fined for cross-checking Kulikov into the boards, and then McDermott got fined for kneeing Foligno. Zuccarello, he's also a big factor. He's been phenomenal this year. He's having a very good under-the-radar season. And then factors for St. Louis, questions I should say. Braden Shen, one of their core pieces, and then Marcus Scandella, one of their depth defensemen, essentially. Not depth, he plays most games, but he has a good defensive presence when he's on the ice. So my question for you is, who do you think is going to win this series? I think it's going to be close. Once again, we'll go over it when we do the predictions video later. We're going to finish off the Western Conference, and we're going to do Calgary and Dallas, and then we're going to do Edmonton and LA, and then we'll head over to the Eastern Conference, which we will see some pretty, I feel, more bloodbath matchups. But that's really all I have for you guys in this one, and I shall see you in a few. Goodbye.